flight.
Hey everyone. So it has been a while, 6 or 7 months at this point, since we last did some Microsoft Flight Sim, and a lot has changed. So today we're doing a short little flight from 46 Uniform, that's Alpine Aero Park, just over the border to Idaho Falls. We're flying the Piper Turbo Aero 4 by JustFlight, and today's flight is really just to catch you up on what's been going on and what I've got planned for the future with this series. So as I mentioned in the previous videos in this series, I subscribe to the Mags TV approach for time and weather. Live whenever possible. Only adjust if required. And so what you're seeing here is live time and weather for the region. And when I loaded in and saw this, I thought, I need to fly this now. I don't want to make any changes to this. I need to go. So that's what we're doing. And just like the previous videos, this is a purely VFR flight. I don't have any nav aids. I don't have radio navigation or radio communication going. I don't have the GPS going. I'm just flying purely by landmark. And at least right now I can still see the horizon. I've got enough light to find that. And of course you can see ahead of me that I've got streetlights on the road, which takes us right to our destination. Luckily we're just following a road, so it actually turned out to be easier than what I had expected when I first jumped in. So the last time we flew, we were starting a NeoFly campaign out of 46 Uniform, or Alpine Air Park. It's basically right on the border between Wyoming and Idaho, south of Yellowstone, north of Salt Lake City, not too far from Jackson, and it made for some really interesting terrain, some mountain pass flights, a lot of really enjoyable stuff. Pretty easy to follow in VFR as well, and interesting weather, which was kind of fun to navigate. But after doing several more flights, I've kind of realized that, alright, I've been to all the major areas here, I've been through all the major routes around here, maybe it's time to move on. And so that's basically what we're doing today. We're starting our eventual slow journey to the west, and we're starting that by heading over to Idaho Falls. So we just basically follow this road right over there to that city that's all lit up over there, and that's kind of where we're going. From there, it's a larger center. We can start exploring up into the mountains to the north, or we can follow the valley to the southwest and maybe make our way to Twin Falls or Boise and so on from there. So we'll see how it goes. I don't really know what the plan is or how long it'll take. Just the general idea that I kind of want to start going in that direction. Now I'd also like to start flying some different airframes, and that kind of leads me into what we're flying today. So the last time we flew, we were in the AT Simulations Piaggio P149D, which is a beautiful plane. It's well modeled. I really enjoyed it. It has some great features, features that I still haven't seen in anything else to date, namely the additional passengers in the back to reflect your actual number of passengers in the game, which is awesome. But if you remember, we belly landed that thing at Jackson, and so I decided that might be a good opportunity to trade it in and get something different to fly. Right about that time, JustFlight released their Piper Aero 3, the naturally aspirated version, and so I picked that one up and started flying it and really enjoyed it and decided that I would buy one of those. It sounds great, it looks great, it's got awesome systems depth, it's got all kinds of nice candy features, and it has my favorite thing of all, which is persistence. When you log out of this plane and start your next flight, all of your switches are in the same place they were before. Your fuel tanks are in the same state they were before. So if you had an imbalance when you left, you're going to have that same imbalance when you come back. It really gives you that extra push to shut your engines down properly, to put the plane in a good state when you actually log out, versus the DCS approach of firewall the throttle and eject, because it doesn't matter what you do, the next time you slot in, it's a brand new pristine aircraft again. This one has accurate engine damage modeling over time. It has maintenance stuff to keep up with if you want to turn those features on. And so for people who want that extra layer of immersion, it really gives you a reason to check your parameters when you start the plane, to look after your engine, to go gentle with it, to not push it to the limit on every single flight. And for me, I really enjoy that aspect of it. Now the Piper Aero 3 has one major limitation, and that's the fact that it's naturally aspirated. This limits the altitude it can fly at, and for someone like me who likes to fly in the mountains, that quickly became a problem, where I was having to cut my flight short and turn and go back because I just couldn't make it. So when JustFlight announced that they were also releasing the Turbo Aero 3 and the Turbo Aero 4 as a single package with a discount for regular Aero 3 owners, it was kind of a no-brainer for me. So that's what we're flying today. We are in the Turbo Aero 4 with the T-tail. It has all of the same advantages of the original Aero 3 of being beautifully modeled and sounding beautiful and having all the same systems depth and failure modeling and persistence, GPS options. All of that is all there. But you have the addition of the ability to fly at higher altitudes, which is awesome. It's a little faster as well, but it doesn't really make much of a difference. The main selling point is the higher altitude capabilities. So much like the Piaggio, I've got pretty similar capabilities to do basic low passenger count missions or limited amounts of cargo, but I can also do some of the new kinds of missions that NeoFly has added, including priority mail delivery, the advertising where I tow a banner around a certain area. I can do drop zones. There's a few different kinds of missions that I can fly with this plane, and so my hope is to spend a little time in Idaho Falls and the surrounding area in the Piper, and then maybe we'll move into some of the other planes that I've purchased for Microsoft Flight Sim after that. Now, on the topic of NeoFly adding new things, I'm in the Discord for this application, and I think I get a ping almost daily with new features that are either coming out or are out, and there's just so much more in this application than there was last time I flew it. There's all kinds of new missions. There's an in-game tablet that I haven't even gotten around to installing yet. There's a campaign mode that's new. There's all kinds of new stuff to it. There's a dark mode. There's improvements to map and weather, to improvements to how you add third-party planes, which was very welcome. So basically, I need to spend some time just kind of refamiliarizing myself with the NeoFly application and the different kinds of things that I can do with it. So, like I said in the last videos, if you are looking for a third-party campaign add-on for Microsoft Flight Sim, because you need that motivation to fly, to find things to do, I highly recommend it. It's definitely worth checking out. It's got something for almost everyone.
Transporter from dispatch. Nice landing. Go to the next parking and put your parking brake on. I'll be in touch. Transporter. Cargo unloading in progress. Stand by, pilot.
Two hours later.
Transporter from dispatch. The cargo was picked up by the customer. Your mission is completed.
Well, that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.